How's everybody doing today? Well, I couldn't sleep last night because I thought to myself, I really want to time this here power saw. So we're going to time this. I want to know. I want to measure the squish before we run it, okay? I want to measure the squish on this saw. This saw has uber compression, friends. Like uber compression. Did I say uber good enough? Okay, come on. I'm just like itching. We've been talking about an 850 for quite a while, so I still have a couple of 1010s here I haven't even touched, and I think we're going to dig into this right away. When I do a 1010, I'm going to ragged edge of sanity. I'm not interested in messing around with a 1010 unless it's just silly. So be warned, when I build one, it's going to be a silly saw. Okay, so prepping a Mac. Is this the right one? No. Prepping a Mac for, I sure like these T-handles that you guys sent. They're nice. I use them all the time, to the point I mounted them in front of my bench. There we go. These Eklund brand T-handles, they're ball ends. Very, very impressed with them. They're, and I believe the fella bought those off of Amazon. Again, with a T-handle with a ball end, you want to almost put it on an angle if you have something that's tight. See, if I would have went on that straight, I probably would have rounded it off. Just a little tip. And just like most Macs, the heat shield is a little bent on it. I don't even know if I have to take that off, to tell you the truth. You Mac guys are probably like, you don't have to take that off. I'm not a Mac guy, friends. I'm a power saw man. I work, and in case you guys haven't noticed, I work on everything all the time. I don't think I could ever be a one brand builder. I got respect for guys that do that. There are guys that just build Macs, or, you know, Stills, Huskies. I kind of like to jump around. You learn from one brand and you apply it to another. And you know what's funny, friends? I don't port a lot of Stills. The Stills that I have ported, they run real good. So I've never, well, I don't know whether this is supposed to come off. I have never ported a still that I wasn't super impressed with after. Stills tend to port up really well, so go figure. Maybe they're too easy and that's why I don't do them. I would like to do, down the road, I would like to buy a 660. Doesn't even have to be a 66 flat top or anything. I'd like to get a 660 if I could find one, and I'd like to see what those are all about. I don't think I've ever run a 660. For whatever reason, friends, the big saws around here, when I say big, I mean 90cc plus, they tend to be Husqvarnas. I don't know why. There's more Still dealers here. There's quite a few 880s in this province, but the big saws here tend to be Husqvarnas, so for whatever reason. Okay, we're going to pull the recoil off, and I'm going to mount the timing wheel on this. I also have to take the handle off so that the wheel fits. So we're going to get that all prepped, and I'll hit you guys back up. You know, there's like 6 screws on here. You take off bottom bolts, and the side one going through the gas tank. I'll hit you guys back up when I get that all disassembled. Okay, so we're back here. One thing I'm going to do before I mount the timing wheel, I put a brand new spark plug in this saw. I bought a bunch of them because I knew I'd be working on more Macs. So that's one thing. When I start a new brand, there's often supplies that I don't have, and I'll just slowly. I like to have supplies for most of the major brands here. I'm going to check the squish on this power saw before I take the recoil off. Now, Macs generally, from what I hear, and again, I can only go by what people tell me, but I'm learning. I'm learning my own knowledge. Macs generally have giant squish, is what people tell me. I'm going to use regular plumber's solder. Let's see. We're going to dunk it in there. Whew. Oh, we squished her over. She's, this old girl's right full of carbon. I could see it on the end. Okay, so we got our squish. I'm going to start a new page in my book for this power saw. This is exciting. Really exciting. And I'm not going to lie, these Macs, they're difficult. They're a different animal. They're different than any other saw. This saw has 35,000 squish. That's not terrible. Is that why these run good? I don't know. That's Super Pro. Here, let's grab the book here. This is the Super Pro 70, the stock numbers. Look at the squish. 46 thousandths. I think it was the tightest I measured it. Some spots it was 47, 48. Here's how it timed. The exhaust opened 100 after top dead center. That's not bad. Not bad for a 70cc saw. 17 degrees of blowdown. Echo does that too, okay? I noticed that. Intake 60 before top dead center and 120 duration. Okay, I'm going to start a new page for this book. Let's compare. How does this time compared to a Super Pro 70? Okay, so we are very, very happy with the squish, actually. I mean, I would like it to be 20 thousandths, 25. 35, though, I think we can live with that. I do. I really do. I mean, the Super Pro was like 45, 50 thousandths. The 70 I did. And again, I don't build for torque. I also do not build for RPM. I get a lot of questions, what kind of RPM are you shooting for? I don't know. Believe it or not, friends, I rarely tack any of my ported saws. They either cut or they don't, I guess. And if you port for RPM, I'm okay with that. I don't generally pick an RPM. I sometimes will tack my saws in the wood. And I'll tack my saws in the wood. Generally my saws cut, 2,000, 2,500 RPM faster than stock, and they hold that RPM. If a saw does that, I'm happy, like what more could I want? Okay, so this one has nuts on that side. I wonder if we should just take the whole handle off, friends. I almost feel like maybe we should, and just take the pipe off. What do you guys think? Yeah, I'll just take the whole handle off. Why not? Might as well go over this saw. This is not one of Buckin's daily drivers, if you guys know what I'm saying. This is one that he's bought, and I mean, this saw runs good, and he made sure it runs and everything, but it's not a daily driver. It's just one of his couple of 850s that he has. I don't even know how many of them he has. A few. So the fact that he's letting me port this, I'm going to be very diligent. There's not a lot of these left. I mean, they are around, but they're not a super common saw anymore. McCulloch definitely sold a lot of these though in their heyday. I'm not sure what year these would be. Would this be early 80s, friends? Early 80s? Late 70s? Post a comment below. You Mac guys. You guys know your stuff. Guys that like Macs are serious about them. That's what I've learned. Which is cool. There we go. I'm getting better at tearing these down. The first time I had a Mac on my bench, I was like, the leg bone's connected to the arm bone, I think. Like, I had no idea. Okay. I am definitely getting better at taking these things down. It didn't take that long. Just, you know, you got to think your way through these. Okay, now I guess potentially if we want to, I was gonna scope this saw. Oh, cool, little case repair there. See if that's leaking. I don't think it is though. It's not a big deal. Okay, I was gonna use the scope on this saw, but I mean, I'll use the scope to get you guys video, but I think realistically, oh yeah, see? So already I see something I like on this saw versus, just making sure you guys get a good shot here. I like something on this saw that the Super Pro 70 drove me nuts about. From what I can see, I can take this cover off without taking off the gas tank. The Super Pro 70, this cover goes underneath the motor or the anti-vibe mount, and it actually, it would, like, anytime I had to take the saw apart, I had to take the entire saw down. And when you're porting saws and going in and out of them, it can add a lot of time to the build, right? Oh, this is, yeah. Already, I like this saw better than the 70. 70 is a good saw, but, yeah, see this piece here, friends, on the 70, it wraps around and it goes underneath this bolt here. So you're constantly taking the gas tank off and disturbing things, so I do have to disturb this carb. Hopefully we do not develop an air leak, but after that Super Pro, I am a pro at making McCulloch gaskets. So now this is not an impulse saw. It doesn't look to be. Okay, so we can see the intake from here. So what I'm going to do, friends, probably, I'm going to zip tie. I guess we got to call it a zap strap because this is Buckin saw. I'm going to zap strap this throttle open, and what I'm probably going to do is stick the scope right down the mouth of the carburetor so you guys can see. And I think that's what we're going to do. Because this carb's nicely stuck, I would like to not disturb it. In fact, here's what I'm going to do. Watch this. If this will work, which I'm not sure if it will. I'm going to get a couple of nuts here, okay? This carb is stuck, and this saw doesn't appear to have any air leaks. I'm going to actually take these two nuts. I'm going to bolt this carb back down. Because again, we're not ready to go inside this yet. I'm just impatient, and not even impatient. The sooner I time a power saw and write notes, the sooner I can think about what the power saw needs, right? So yeah, we're just going to zip tie this. Or sorry, they call them zap straps in British Columbia, I noticed. You know what I love? All the different people I talk to. I talk to people in Australia, Sweden. I had a fellow, whoa, that went far. I had a fellow from Hungary message me the other day. Bulgaria, Austria. It's pretty neat. It's interesting. We're all the same, but the different terms we use for things. It's whether they're bucking dogs, bucking spurs, or bucking spikes. I can almost tell where you're from, depending on what you call them. You know, short bars versus long bars. We all know the West Coast, East Coast things happening. I'm a no coast. I represent the no coast, friends. So I can go short bar or long bar because I'm no coast. Okay, so here's our exhaust. I'm just flapping away here, friends. Can you guys tell I'm having fun? I'm excited. YouTube's a lot of fun. It really is. If you, oh jeez, I gotta stop that. If you, okay, if you're thinking about starting a channel, just do it. Okay, that's unbolted. It takes a while. It takes a while for your channel to go, and I mean, you know, this channel's really grown, and I appreciate it. But you know, I remember when I had like 50 subscribers, you know, Bayou Country Power Saws, Journey North, Simple Man, the Johnsburg was in here. I haven't seen him around here for a while. Johnsburg, if you're here, I hope you're doing well, buddy. Haven't heard from you in a while. Bill Block was in here early on. You know, I still remember all those guys, and it was pretty much the same. I was just, you know, just making videos, having fun. This pipe has a giant hole in it. You see that, friends? Oh yeah, this thing's rotten, this pipe. Okay. Here's what we got here. Now, you guys see the lines on there? She's got some rub marks, but all in all, here's the thing, friends, okay? When you're looking at a power saw, and I know this is a timing video, but part of being a saw builder, okay? Part of being a saw builder is those rub marks, they're not even really scores. They are literally, and believe me, I'd prefer if this piston was brand new, but you can get parts for these, but this thing runs good and it has good compression. Does it need a new piston? I don't think so. Maybe some people would say yes. Somebody's definitely been into this saw before, but it runs good. I have a feeling that there probably was some carbon here at some point, and it rubbed on the piston a little bit. It's not deep. I'm not even worried about it. One thing to note, friends, you see the dark side, you see this side of the piston? Okay, that is typically the hottest side of the cylinder, okay? Your flywheel moves air here, it goes over the cylinder. This side's going to be cold and this side's going to get hotter as you exit. And because the muffler exits on this side on this power saw, if you're going to have wear, you're typically going to have it on this side. But notice, friends, there's no blow-by, okay? I'm good with this. When we take this saw apart, we can reconvene, but again, this is not a showpiece. This is a work saw. It is a little turdy, but I am the turd saw guy, so I'll make it work. It's cool that this thing has a repair. Somebody built that up and tapped it. Okay, so this saw is prepped. I'm going to mount my timing wheel, zero it, and let's find out our exhaust transfers and intake timing. What makes these saws tick, right? What makes them tick? Okay, we got our drill chuck mounted, our timing wheel. Again, just like always, I put the piston. Here, I'm going to unclip you guys. I watch the piston move up, okay? Look, piston moves up. Okay? You see there's not a lot of movement there, but there is. There's 3-4 degrees of timing. That's called dwell. What we're doing is we time out the dwell. Now, okay, let's put our pointer at top dead center. There we go. As close as we can. I'm using a piece of copper wire, again, just to show you guys, you don't need fancy. If the saw cuts wood, does anybody ask, hey, I wonder what kind of copper wire you use there? No, nobody asks that. Let's be serious here, friends. Use what you got. Use your noodle. Use what you got. Make it happen. It's all in the timing numbers, the shapes of ports. It's all it is, friends. Okay, so we're approximately at top dead center. Let's get our timing zeroed. Again, we use the same piston stop that we always use. Okay, through the spark plug hole. I'm going to put it down a little bit. Usually I just put it to the cylinder wall and I hold it firm with my fingers, okay? Okay, what are we at here? We are at, I'm trying to get you guys a better perspective. We are at 59 degrees. 59 degrees after top dead center. What are we at on this side? Oh, we got that pretty close, didn't we? We're at 56, 57. So we'll go 58. See what we got here. Again, I know I show this a lot, but I like being the guy on YouTube that shows you guys this stuff. I enjoy it. Again, I've been a sheet metal worker my whole life. Training trainees and apprentices is just something I do. It's fun to see somebody grow into their trade. So I guess I just kind of approach this the same way. 5, 6, 7, and I went to 8 on the other one, so that means 7.5. Okay, 7.5, 57.5. Oh, we're so close. 57 and a little bit, and 57 and a little bit. We are zeroed. Now, this timing wheel is snugged down. I got it close enough, snugged it, and I'm just bending my wire. Okay, so we're good. Let's time this thing. I'm excited. Okay, I just got you guys set up like that. You guys know the deal. Highway box on there, shine it on an angle through the spark plug hole. Okay, so we are at top dead center, and I'll bring you guys in when I can see the first ray of light. Okay, top dead center. Now these you time pretty much just by looking straight in, because there's not much of an exhaust port in there. Again, I'll show you guys what we're seeing here. Sorry, get the light on here. There you go. See that? With these I time them just by looking through. Okay. I'm going to say right about there. Where are we at? 104 after top dead center. Okay, let's go around again. Spinneroonie, top dead center. If I put it back at 104, I should see the same thing. If I don't, I have a problem with my timing wheel. See that little crack in there? Yeah, you guys can see that? Yeah, that little crack there. Okay, you do that 3 times to recreate it. Now, I'm going to use the scope for the transfers, and I'll voice over it, because that seems to work, and you guys seem to enjoy the scope videos. Okay, here's a shot through the spark plug hole. Now, all I do is I move the piston up and down till I get a good reference, and I can see when the piston uncovers the upper transfers. Just as they crack, that's your timing number. Right there. Now here's the timing wheel as I do that. See, I go a little bit past, and then I move it back till they open. 114 degrees after top dead center. Here's a shot through the mouth of the carburetor into the intake port. Now this intake cracks at the top, but it's actually the bottom because the cylinder lays down. So notice I go past and then I sneak back up just to where it cracks. And then I'll go past again, just when it closes. And here's the same shot on the timing wheel, friends, okay? All the way around, top dead center, bottom dead center is 180, okay? It opens at right there, 61. I don't know if you guys can see, okay? 61, it opens before top dead center. Here's top dead center, and it closes also at 61. Duration is 122 degrees. 61 plus 61 is 122. Okay, friends, so we have her timed. I sure like that scope for timing max. It just flat out works. It makes my life easier. The cool thing is, friends, I can show you exactly what I can see. Like, it's like my eyes are looking through there. So, pretty neat. So what do we have? We have squish is 35 thousandths. I'm happy with that. Would I like 25 thou? Oh yeah, but 35, I can work with that on this saw. 104 exhaust, again, I can work with that. I can raise it a bit. These Macs change directions quite violently, just the way the The cranks are set up. So if you're going to spin one of these up, do it carefully because you could break the rod. You really could. Maybe you won't, but 104, we can work with that. This is an 80cc saw. There's room to move there. What really kills me on this is the 10-degree transfer timing. That's short, ridiculously short. I've never seen blowdown that short, period. Macs are different. The more I run these, I do like them, but they are different. And these saws, you can't do with these what you can do with any other saw. Macs are a whole other animal. Same thing with home lights. Actually, home lights are another animal too. What I'm getting at, friends, saws of this vintage, they are not the easiest to port. They weren't, this era, they were still figuring out two strokes. They really were. By the late 70s and 80s, Husqvarna was really charging. I mean, friends, you figure this saw here, okay? This saw here is early 80s. It's a 181. These would have competed against each other. This is what we would consider to be a modern saw at this point. It cuts like a modern saw. This is more the old style, the laydown. These are cool, okay? It's just a whole other ball of wax. You can never compare something like this to something like that. It's not a fair comparison. Is one better than the other? No. They're so different. It's like comparing a new truck to an old truck. You just can't. You like the old truck, you like the new truck. I mean, you guys get what I'm saying? So the idea with this is I already know what I can and can't do roughly because of the Super Pro. The question is with this saw is how am I going to go about making it go fast? Well, we got to raise the exhaust roof. How far, I don't know. I'm going to do something different to the intake on this. I went on a completely different way with the Super Pro 70. I'm going to try in the opposite way. Maybe we'll meet back in the middle. You have to experiment on these saws and go from there. I don't know a lot of guys that port these, like guys that I know personally. So I'm kind of, with these, I'm kind of just doing it on my own. And you know what? That's fun. I actually really enjoy this stuff. So we'll see what we can do, friends. I'm excited. We timed a Pro Mac 850. And yeah. Are you guys excited? So right away, friends, we are going to pipe this saw for sure. I have to pipe this. And I got to figure out, I'm probably going to run this thing stock. I want to feel what it does stock with a long bar and cut some bigger wood with it and see how it reacts to different tuning. Will it run good fat? Do I got to lean it out? I kind of can already assume how this thing's going to run by the timing numbers, but sometimes you're a little bit, you know, you're a little bit off your game, like, or they run different. You figure, friends, this saw has minimum 20 degrees less intake timing than any other saw you'll time. There's something going on there. And the key is, what did Mac do to make these run so well with the weird timing they used? That's the key, and I'm going to figure it out. So I like a challenge. I'm going to figure these Macs out. Okay, friends. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out in the shop. It's a beautiful afternoon. It's a little windy out, but I appreciate you guys being here and giving me your time. As always, thanks for watching. Take her easy and port those power saws. Why not? It's fun. Later, guys.